What is a rival? Is a rival a challenger who pushes your limits? Is a rival a friend who cheers for you? Is a rival a new threat on the horizon? Or is a rival a man who becomes an obstacle in the path of greatness? EVO 2026 raised these questions and more as 1,022 players attended and show for the platform fighter at EVO. EVO 2026 took place on June 26. In order to break down this event in a clean way, I will discuss the largest upsets that took place this weekend, starting with the largest upset. That Buck guy entered the event as the 852nd seed. Buck would defeat that pizza guy before moving on and facing off against Fake Not Real. Fake Not Real entered as the 84th seed. Despite being favored to lose, Buck would close out the set 2-1 in order to move on, completing an upset factor 7 win. Buck would end up fighting and losing to CD before finding his placement of 97th as the 852nd seed. The next large upset that I will cover is by Samicus. Samicus entered the event as the 997th seed. After losing to Dakpo, Sam would be sent to losers in order to face off against seed 103, Spiker. Samicus would defeat Spiker 2-0, claiming an upset factor 6 win, as Samicus would then defeat Crispy Crinkle and Valera in order to finish at 129. As the 108th seed of the event, Han Solo entered the event and defeated Jolt and Reality for being sent to losers by Astro Beat. Once in losers, he would be approached by 789th seed M. M would defeat Han Solo in an upset factor 6 win. After that, M would move on to beat Normal Punch before DQing out at 129th. Psych came to this event as the 769th seed. Psych would get multiple DQs to push him forward to fight the number 1 seed, Stango. Stango would defeat Psych 2-0 in order to send the fellow Locks Not main to losers. Psych would then defeat Dozer and get an upset factor 5 win on Triforce. After winning that set 2-0, Psych would then move on and finish at 97. As seed 101, Maple Ming Tashi would climb through pools as predicted, defeating Banana Pace and Funky Pants before approaching winners finals of his pool, his opponent being 28th seed, Daya. Tashi would win in an upset factor 4 win. The Maple Main would move forward after beating the best EU player and lose to Switch. In losers, Tashi would beat Kiwi, STG, and Shadow before losing to Ion 2-0. Tashi ended the bracket at 33rd. Samurai Isaac entered the event as the 882nd seed. His first match of the day would be 143rd seed, Hungrybox. In round 1 pools, in the first match of the day, Samurai Isaac would defeat Hungrybox 2-0 in an upset factor 5 win. Isaac would then move on to beat EGAD and fall to Lunar. Once in losers, HBox would find his rematch against Samurai Isaac. As they faced off yet again in losers, Hungrybox would make it close, but fall to Samurai Isaac yet again 2-1 and place 257. Isaac would end up placing 193rd as the 882nd seed. The next and last part of our upset section is Chef Q. Chef Q entered the event as the 102nd seed. Chef Q would climb through bracket after falling to Ratchet Narrow's Boy Toy 2-0. Chef Q would beat Nitten, Tarul, EOL, Dr. Grin, and 3-Legged Dog in order to face off against seed 26 of the event, Dokbo. In a surprise upset, Chef Q would defeat Dokbo 2-0 in an upset factor 4 win. Chef Q would go on to place 33rd as the 102nd seed. That will be all on our upsets section, but that isn't all of them. With a total of 422 upsets, those are just my chosen highlights from the event. On screen now is a list of every single upset that happened. That's a lot of upsets. Top 24 had some crazy upsets within itself that I haven't even discussed. One of which being Fullstream. Fullstream should need no introduction, but if you don't know who he is, full stream only comes to the biggest and best events, like last year's EVO where he placed 7th. As Seed 21, full stream would challenge Seed 6 Rangunchu and defeat the best Claren main in the world 2-0. Full stream would then move on to play against Beastly and fall 2-0 for 13th. As Seed 29, Gekinga would enter the event and start off his bracket cleanly, winning every set 2-0 before finding himself against Beastly in round 2 pools. After losing in round 2 pools against Beastly, Gek would defeat Pro Z, Sly, and Animal to face off and fall to Yoda Cage, outplacing his seed by a massive 2 spots to finish 13th. Mystery Soul would outplace his seed by 1 spot. Being one of the higher seeds as a Galvan main, he made quite the statement this weekend. Soul would clean up Pool 1 and 2 without dropping a game, defeating players like J-Bone and Salt 2-0. In Pool 3, he would defeat Beastly in an upset factor 4 win in order to make winner side top 24. Now, with only 1 set needed to make top 8, the pressure was on. Sadly, Mystery Soul would not complete these wins and would fall to B-Bats and Sofilo, both being 2-0 for a 9th place finish. One of the greatest runs of the event, Ham Polo, would enter the event as the 25th seed. Only needing to play 2 sets in round 1 pools, Ham Polo would defeat Cyan and Chumpkin before falling to ZB. Moving on to round 3 pools, Ham Polo would defeat Shadowhawk and 8th seed Ion to make top 24. Once there, Ham Polo would defeat Zeus to Goose and fall to Sofilo in the Ditto for 13th, but with one of the greatest runs under his belt. The old god of Melee, Mango, made top 24 by beating Dokpo, Ant, and Sofilo. With such a crazy bracket path, nothing felt impossible to Mango until his next challenger approached. Cake Assault would defeat Mango in a swift 2-0, with both sets being a 2-stock. Mango would then move on to fight against Beastly, but would fall yet again with a 2-0. Mango just couldn't handle the best the game would have to offer and would fall to 9th place. Kaib came to the event as the 17th seed. Being one of the best fleet players in the world, Kaib would sweep pools 1 and 2. In round 2, Kaib would beat Korra and Dingo in 2-0. In round 3 pools, Kaib would fall to the first seed Stango 2-0. The fleet main would then travel on down to the losers top 24 before besting Ant and ZB in close sets and then fall to Sandstorm for a 9th place finish. The last player I would like to talk about is Durai. Durai would come to this event as the 25th seed, and with events like 3rd at Hop On 69 and 3rd at Monthly of Aether under his belt, Durai was on a fast path to becoming the best Rondo in the world if he hadn't already owned the title. Durai would leave Pool 1 without a scratch. In Pool 2, Durai would beat Pikmon and upset Seed 8 Ion 2-0. Once in Pool 3, Durai would beat another top-level Krag in ZB with a 2-0 win. With a fire under his belly, Durai would enter top 24 winner side and challenge but fall to the first seed Stango. In losers, Durai would lose a close 2-1 against Yoda Cage, falling out at 9th place. Top 24 wrapped to an end, as top 8 of the largest bracket ever was decided. The world stood in awe as the greatest the game had to offer claimed their main stage.
Tell me who gon' rise and fall. I've been running for my flaws, still I'm standing 10 feet tall. Mirror, mirror, don't you lie. I can see it in my eyes. Truth gon' surface every time, even when no light is dancing with my shadow in a room full of gold, trying to count on my regrets like the stories I told. Mama said, boy, don't sell your soul for applause, but the silence louder now than a million gods. I seen kings fall quick for a hit on a rail. Seen queens trade crowns for a 6-figure deal. I don't blame them, I just pray for them. We all one mistake from the cage out of graveyard. Living like a movie, but the credits never roll. They gon' crop you out the frame if you ever lose control. Talk truth, they call it hate, but the fake love louder than an 8. Every scar got a sermon in it, every L got a learning in it. I ain't perfect, I just pin it how I lived it. If the game rigged, then I still pivot. Mirror on the wall, tell me who gon' rise and fall. I've been running for my flaws, still I'm standing 10 feet tall.
Our top 8 was predictable. The top 4 seeds getting pretty close to their exact path, while on loser's side, it was a bit more unpredictable. Main state names and top 8 seeds Ion, Ant, and Rangunchu not making the top cut, it's hard to imagine a top 8 major not featuring these players, as all 3 of them have been grand finalists at other majors. Starting with losers, we have Sofilo, one of the greatest Zetaburns in the world. Sofilo came into this event as the 10th seed. Sofilo has had multiple strong results behind her, with a first at codename Black Site 40 and a 7th at Hop On Rivals 69. Sofilo cleaned up pools with wins on the Librarian and Dominic, before facing the only person to take a game off her this whole tournament, Mango. Mango would defeat Sofilo 2-0. The thing that people don't know is Sofilo only burns brighter once in losers. Once in top 24, Sofilo would send Cyand, Polo, and Mystery Soul home without dropping a single game. Sofilo would enter top 8 in order to face off against the lowest seeded player, 27th seed Yoda Cage. Coming off a first at Adventure Bears 539 and a 5th at Fusion 300, Yoda would decimate round 1 pools. In round 2 pools, he would beat Arbiclo and an upset factor 5 win on 6th seed Rangunchu. Yoda then lost to Sandstorm and faced off against Arai in order to make top 8.
4% after the combo, but that's fire and up strong.
And that was 94% after hit.
Yeah.
Doesn't find anything, but Sophie's now starting to put on this pressure. It is struggling to deal with some of the faster frame data between the shines, the aerials. Sophie's mixing up the timings on them too, though, because you can't crouch cancel, you can't shield or you can parry, but you gotta choose one. Okay, up top. What is still in the fight? Knockdown is big though.
Yoda getting a lot of mileage out of just a regular get-up attack on him.
Oh, the spot dodge call out! The down strong Sophie takes it 3-1. Everyone's...
In the end, Sofilo would blaze through Yoda, winning with only a scratch. The next set of top 8 would have the only other person who would claim the title of the best Zetaburn in the world, Beastly. After winning Genesis X3, Beastly would go on to get 3rd at the Fusion Super Major, 5th at Battle of BC6, and 3rd at Patchwork. Something seemed to not click for Beastly. Whatever magic he had at Genesis, he needed to tap into it here. Beastly would lock in and show off his talents, beating YBM and Gekinga. With one set needed to make top 24, something in the magic would falter. Against Mystery Soul, Beastly would lose 2-0. When in losers, the magic of fire would be tapped back into. Beastly would send Maya, Full Stream, and Mango packing in order to make top 8 and face off against Sandstorm. The best the best Galvin main in the world, Sandstorm, would come to this event as the 11th seed, coming in after a first place at Rivals on Cage 9 in May and a 9th at Road to Vegas in April. Sandstorm was ready to put on a show, and a show he would, taking out Sego, Capel, and Yoda Cage before making top 24 winner side. Standing in Sandstorm's way would be number 3 seed of the event, Plup. This would be Plup's first real test, and well, Plup would ace it. Plup would beat Sandstorm's Olympia 2-0, sending the number 10 player in the world to losers. In losers, Sandstorm would beat Kaib 2-0 to make top 8 and face off against Beastly.
That is his game plan. He's trying to get you on fire and then trying to use that fire with the straw. Okay, that's it. Just taps him. Thing is, Sandstorm needs to clean this up. It needs to clean this up fast. Oh, the drill knocks him down instead of the back you're sending off stage. The one time you didn't want it.
Yeah, I think the back he would have much preferred just a regular back air.
He would have died if it was a regular back air there, and that's going to do it. Beastly moving on with a clean 3-0.
Beastly would beat Sandstorm's Galvin and move on to face off against the loser of B-Bats versus Stango. The Dawn Stango maining solo Loxodont came to the event as the first seed. After large bracket wins, like a first at Comicapalooza Fight Club 2026 in Houston, Texas, and the online tournament Rivals 2 Road to Vegas in April, both with solo Loxodont. Stango started Friday off by not dropping a single game in pools, before blazing through winner's side of round 2 and round 3 pools. The Dawn would beat Melon, St. Pat, Kaib, and Durai, all without dropping a single set. Facing off against him would be 5th seed BBats. BBats barely needs an introduction. Ranked number 5 in the world, also being the best fleet in the world, BBats would come into this event with first place at Combo Breaker 2026 in May and Fusion 300 in July. BBats got to top 8 by beating Shadow, Switch, Fullstream, and gaining his first ever set win against Mystery Soul. Crazy enough, these two players have not faced off since Don't Park on the Grass 2024, where Soul would take it 3-0 in the Ditto. Just like his opponent, BBats did not drop a single set. So now, for the first time, Stango or BBats would drop a set.
BBats going really deep, kind of having to at the deficit.
Just charges in his face. This went from being so even. BBats had him dead to rights in the last game, and now Stango's up 3-1 in that, and it's going to 3-stock BBats says, I'm #1 seed for a reason.
In the end, BBats would go down to losers right before our other winner side set began. Plup, the hidden boss of the Rivals scene. Going into this event, Plup stood as a huge question mark. Plup began his Rivals 2 story at Champ of the Beta in 2024, where he placed 17th out of 59. Despite a so-so placement, he showed potential with Game 3 sets against both Ion and Switch. After this, Plup would attend LACS Rivals only a month later and would go Game 3 with Ion yet again before falling to Ragunshu. But this was the birth of a titan. Plup would demolish the competition. Using a mix of Maple and Orcane, he would beat top players like Cake Assault, Stango, Elkies, Kusi, Ion, Spargo, Mystery Soul, and Pikmon to claim Genesis X2 and EVO 2025 back to back. After that, it was completely silence. Plup would stay home, participating in small things like Twitch Rivals and Ranked Ladder. Plup's legacy between then and now was horror stories of playing Ranked late at night and running into one of Plup's ranked accounts. After a little under a year of no events, Plup came to this event as the 3rd seed, not dropping a single set out of the last 2 events he entered. Plup started off by beating everyone in round 1 pools, with only a game drop to Ranomane Quattro Quattro. Moving on, Plup would beat Zoark, Maya, Animal, and Sandstorm to make top 8. The person who stood against Plup would be #1 player in the world and the god of Rivals, Cake Assault. Cake came into this event as the 2nd seed. He came into this event after a strong first at Patchwork Love Letter and a first at Battle of BC8. Cake would advance to top 8 by beating Recupid, Stro, Zeus the Goose, and Mango. Now, the greatest of all time and mystery to the world, facing off in top 8 of the biggest event ever.
Okay.
Opting for
The back air. Oh my god, that almost killed.
that did.
Oh my god, that almost killed already. We're at 94%. I think the next one might. That was a big parry, but I think it was already going for a forward tilt instead of a stronger option.
Well, it was just a jab, right? So I think
Yeah, it was the jab check. Yep.
Yeah, make sure that at least got a punish.
Oh, we go cross country. Still living, but man.
I was surprised it didn't purple, I'll be honest.
That's going to do it.
In the end, Plup would close out the Game 5, sending Cake Assault to losers and moving on to face off against Stango. Before watching Winners Finals, both Cake and BBats would defeat the Zetterburns, eliminating both of them at 5th place. Cake would move on to play against BBats for 4th. These two players have had a long history against each other. With a 4-3 offline set record, Cake would be leading the count. But recently, with Super Fusion and Genesis X3, there seemed to be a swing towards BBats. BBats is no stranger to the large stage and was willing to bring the heat.
You gotta play perfect and you gotta do it now. Finds the back air, great DI to make sure nothing else is happening. We refresh, but gets hit, gets clipped. The Nair has not landed. Cake is playing so out there, just keeps getting clipped. No way! The charge is gonna do it! Cake Assault with the reverse 3-0.
Catches that.
In the end, with a huge reverse 3-0 win, Cake would smoke out BBats and take the victory, using his secondary fleet. Cake would move on to Losers Finals and face off against the loser of Plup versus Stango.
And working stock very early.
Now Steve, we're below like 80% when the stock is taken. from is we are now no longer, and the stock hasn't been taken. The stock might not be taken.
Great forward air there. Oh no, just can't drift far enough in to get the down air.
But if that had killed, that would have been, that was a very, very interesting choice.
Yeah, we mentioned the upstrong, but we forgot about, the aerial neutral special. A great vertical kill option for... Oh, I thought he was going to go right up there to finish it. Oh my gosh, that droplet went so far. Nice.
Get one more. No, we're too low. We're way too low.
Yeah, very tough spot for locks it out, right? His recovery's kind of got that L shape, right, where he's going for upside down L. So once you're in the diagonal,
we are way.
Despite his massive start, Stango would be unable to be the David to the Scalion. Plup would dominate over Stango and enter Grand Finals winner side, awaiting the winner of Losers Finals. Cake Assault, ranked #1 in the world, and Stango, ranked #2 in the world, would face off for 3rd place.
We were able to vote at home. Everyone was voting Cake. Everyone was voting Plup. Stango was sitting there at like a 7% prediction rate. Stango's now up and looking very good in this game, although it is close. That being said, you get clipped once, you get clipped twice, and you are dead at 57. Stango, you are 1 game away from going back to Grands.
Stango's still winning this stock since the
scoop, but I think that's a bad spot for Stango to be in.
Yeah.
Cake takes the game.
Cake is on the board and trying to do what he did last set.
Cool kids, I would like to inform you about something very special. Cake Assault has a special power, an odd ability. When in Losers, he evolves. He becomes a myth, a legend in the making. Cake Assault becomes the Losers Bracket Demon.
Just operating on a complete other level in the last 2 games.
I mean, he uses the OS tag for a reason. The operating system is online. Just waits for the grab into the down air. We're going to a game 5.
Cake Assault with the 3 stock in Losers Finals. Something I don't think any of us expected after that game 1. 1, how evenly it was, and 2, Stango taking it. It was unexpected.
The more this happens, the more it feels like Cake Assault. It feels like we are seeing him come online and prove what he's made of. Prove why he's been the best in the world at this series for 10 years in a row.
Oh my gosh.
It has been a decade of Cake Assault dominance. But even if he wins, he's still got to fight Club.
Yeah, he still has the newest demon here. Right now, he's got to finish off this elephant, because this elephant is a force to be reckoned with, even this far down.
Cake's been the GOAT of Rivals 1. Cake is saying, no, I am now the GOAT of Rivals 2. I'm going on to fight Club. This is exactly what folks were expecting, but just not in the way they were expecting it. The #1 seed has fallen. But incredible job.
Untouchable by a mere mortal, this demon would crawl out of hell that is Losers Bracket and approach the only other man left in Bracket, Plup, who sat on his throne awaiting the arrival of Cake Assault as Grand Finals began.
For this Grand Finals, this set, maybe 2 sets, we will see, but these players are locked, loaded, and ready to give us a show. That's true. And especially since you can attack the droplet, it can be, when you're in that intro situation, if you're focused on getting the puddle out, you might get exploded for it. You kind of do need to get on stage.
Oh my god, gets hit by the droplet. We are going very low. You are definitely not coming back from that one. Cake can clean this up quick.
Oh, nice.
And there's no droplet on stage. That's a big deal. But flies all the way back with that forward air.
Shoots the droplet, but does not get it on stage again.
Misses once more.
I think trying to wave bounce those, I would assume, but instead just shooting droplets away.
Does it matter, though, is kind of the question. It's on the stage now.
There we see this counter pick working against, right? We mentioned
just the immediate
yeah,
throw.
I love it.
There was so much pressure. There was so much patience in order to find that. You do not get a shield grab at either of these two very easily. There's so much respect in the play currently.
Use it. It pops off of the whale bounce pops off the clone.
Shields in the instant up air. Kind of brave to just run through the platform, though.
Yeah.
Clone got in the mix for a brief second.
Okay, going for the parry there would have been huge if he got it. Might have been able to butter it down strong and close it out off of that exchange instead.
No!
Really wanted the back there, but you could tell he could see it was out of reach. Goes for the up air, the guaranteed damage, and then takes the game with the back air.
And the crowd erupts.
Yeah, this has been no damage.
He's making Plup look silly after being 2-0, after losing in winners. It feels like Cake is playing from a lead and he's not. That being said, this has been Plup. Plup is firing back. We could be getting Cake down to the potential last stock again. Oh, you were holding out. We gotta go to the puddle now.
Goes for the down drunk, and it's enough, the low ceiling.
We are going to a game 5. I said I wanted the game 10 grands. We are one step there.
Game 5. Still the first set, but such a huge momentum swing.
No way!
Yeah, absolutely insane character choice after seeing how much.
Hey, no 3-stock, no 3-stock. We're still on the board.
Hey, I
am terrified of the Lorena, though. Oh, good job getting away from that back air. Got hit by the back air, but didn't go any further. Bust is online.
Bust online, but there's not enough damage for it to be threatening right now.
No.
No, Cake wants to use it offensively, right? He does not want to have to blow this.
Oh, that's not it yet. That's not it yet, but one more. We get clipped by the chair. And that could be it. Plup wins. No! Oh my God! Oh my God! They did purple and I freaked out. Plup has won EVO 2026. Shuts down the third reverse 3-0 in a row. EVO is officially property of the Plup Club. Eggdog Zone has now staked his command, has won so many championships in so many games, but you can see on his face what this means to him.
And in the end, no one would be able to take a set off of Plup. With a pick to his supposedly best character, Plup would close out EVO 2026 as the grand champion. No matter what you threw his way, Plup would rise from the battle with a smirk and a trophy, continuing a now 28 set win streak. It will be hard to deny his greatness in the future. Thank you all for watching. My name is Kincaid, and I'll see you cool kids later. Peace out.